about you guys are going to have incredibly high expectations. How do you use that to your advantage during the offseason?
Yeah, I think obviously the expectations are there. I think everybody knows that. I think, they were there last year, but maybe even more so this year. And, obviously our season didn't end as we wanted it to. I think just using that as fuel and, we have a full roster of 15 players, so we got a lot of depth this year. I think practices have been super competitive. We're bringing back our starting 5. We got some bench players back. So I feel like we're almost kind of moving a little faster just because we're not teaching as much. I think our freshman and Molly, our newcomer, have really caught on well and really learned things fast. But yeah, there's always going to be those expectations for us. We're a program that wants those expectations. We wouldn't want it any other way. So, we're going to perform and rise up to those.
How often do you think back to how last season ended?
I wouldn't say it keeps me up at night. I think obviously it makes you want to work harder. Obviously, it's, I think that's the beauty of March Madness. It's the greatest tournament, postseason tournament in sports, in my opinion. Your season can end in the blink of an eye, and that's why it's so great. That's why people love it, because there are those upsets. But when you're on the wrong end of them, you don't like it as much. So, it's definitely upsetting and not something I really want to think about it as much. But I don't want to let myself feel that again. I don't want our fans to feel that again. And I think it'll really bring that fire to us this year for sure.
What have you seen from Molly so far?
Yeah, I think she's done really well. You can really tell that she's been in college for a few years. It's just she knows the game a little better. The transition from high school to college is a bit harder. The physicality is a lot different. Obviously, there still will be that transition coming into the Big Ten, but you can't really reciprocate that until you're in a real live game. But she just wants to learn. She wants to contribute. She's going to do whatever she can to be on the floor and give to this team. And those are the type of players we really like to have in our program. So I think she's a perfect fit.
I asked Kate about this is going to be your 3rd straight season with the same starting 5.
Mm-hmm.
How big of an advantage do you feel like you guys have over a team that maybe has to replace 2 or 3 starters?
Yeah, and I think that's super rare. You'd never really see that in men's or women's college basketball, especially men's. But on the women's side, that's still pretty rare. Maybe you have 3 or 4 coming back, but to have all 5 for 3 years in a row, we really need to use that to the best of our abilities. Obviously, we know each other super, super well. Obviously, Monica and Kate in their 5th years. So they kind of know how things go for us. Obviously, I'm an upperclassman now, so we're not starting an underclassman. So, I think we're going to have the advantage in every single game. Most teams never really have that. So we know our system, we know our offense, we run the same defense, same offense, most of the same set plays. So we kind of have the edge in that area, and we're going to need to use it.
What has NIL been like for you?
It's been good. Obviously, I'm sure you guys seen, but I signed a deal with Tofts. I have my own trading card, so that's pretty exciting. I was one of those kids growing up. Me and my brother would always collect trading cards, so super, super cool. I'm not for sure when those will start being in packs and stuff, but definitely a super cool thing. But, I think it's been interesting. I think NIL, I think it's a really, really good thing and something that kids should have for a really long time. So it's been cool to see really what a lot of different Iowa athletes have been able to do. I think a lot of us have really given back to our community, which is really the best thing about it. And when it's used in the right way, I think it's really good for not only the student athlete but the people around them as well.
How do you pick and choose what you want to do? There's obviously you only have so much time in a day.
Yeah, and obviously I've been super selective. Obviously I don't have a lot of time to do many things, but I think I always want to partner with pretty big companies that are usually long-term deals that, they kind of align with my values as who I am as a person. I think those are kind of the main things I look at when I'm choosing between companies to partner with.
Did I see right that with the Ivy thing, people could do a pop-a shot against you?
Yeah, I did. They had like a basketball hoop out front when I went over to the Newton races that they had on Saturday, which was super fun. It was like their kids' day. So they had like over 500 kids there, which was super cool. And a lot of kids thought they could beat me, but they learned the hard way. So.
Did any come close?
There was actually like a reporter that worked for IndyCar that beat me in pig, but we were outside, so my ball was like blowing everywhere. So it wasn't really fair, but it's whatever. Made him feel good, I guess.
Did you improve your pop-a shot since facing Keegan?
Oh, I was terrible in that, and he was really good. He might have been. Matt knows he's like one of the best pop-a shot players I've ever seen, but I was also pretty bad. I don't know how he was so good, but that's just Keegan for you, I guess.
You've had a chance to see a lot of the positive aspects of the NIL situation. Anything for you that's been difficult, that's been hard since NIL?
Not for me personally. I think I've done a really good job of balancing it. I think it's just another thing that student athletes are having to balance. I think, I have the right people around me that don't allow me to get too caught up in it, and I don't really get too caught up in it myself. But, you know, I'm here to win basketball games. That's the reason I came here. When I first committed here, NIL wasn't a thing. It wasn't on my radar, and, you know, I wanted to stay in state. I wanted to play for the Hawks, and I want to take this team to the Final Four. That's my main focus, you know. At the end of the day, if I made $0, I would be just as happy, and, you know, we'd still win a lot of basketball games, and that's what's most important.
Sounds like Cam Stuelke was a teenage years with the attack, and he wasn't like having her on the team that game with you.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we ever played on the exact same team at attack, maybe a couple times, but no, she's a very, 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 very talented player. I think, you know, she brings an athleticism kind of side that we don't really necessarily have at times. I mean, she can jump out of the gym. Like, I haven't seen it before. It's crazy. So I think offensive rebounding will be huge for us. We struggled there from time to time last year. So I think there's a lot of little things that she can do, maybe not necessarily scoring. She can still score the ball at a very high rate, but I think there's a lot of little things that she can do that'll be a matchup problem for the other team.
Just overall, how's the summer going? Just, you know, trying to get back in the gym and get your legs under you again.
Yeah, no, it's been a great summer so far. Everyone's working really hard. We've had about like 14 practices now, and so it's been a really productive summer so far.
Looking around, there's a lot of new faces.
Definitely.
What's that been like, just kind of incorporating the new faces and new people into the program?
Yeah, all 4 of the new faces are doing really well. They're working hard. They're working hard in the weight room, working hard on the basketball court, getting extra shots up, so that's always exciting to see. It's an adjustment, always working with new people, but we're working on it, and it's been a lot of fun.
A lot of experience back on this team. This is going to be your 3rd straight year with the same starting 5. How big of an advantage do you feel like you guys have over teams that had to bring in 2 or 3 new starters?
It's definitely an advantage. I mean, we just have that team chemistry. We've worked together for the last 3 years, so that's just very helpful. We know how each other works. Like, it's almost like we even know where people's shots are coming off the rim at this point because we just have been with each other for so long. So it's definitely helpful, and we're just going to use that to our advantage as much as we can.
Have you seen that just in regards to the first couple practices? Was it picking up memory with stuff?
I mean, in a sense, yes, but also there's a lot of stuff we got to work on from last year. You know, we're always trying to improve. There's new people in the gym. You know, it's not always the same starting 5 working together. There's a mix of people all the time, and so and so it's the same, but it's different. You
You guys talk at all about the expectations and what it takes to meet those?
Meet those
expectations. Obviously, you guys have everybody back, so people expect a lot from you.
Definitely. Yes, people expect a lot from us, but we just focus on each day, the task at hand. We're not really thinking too far. We know our goals, where we want to go, but we're just taking it day by day, working really extremely hard every practice, and then we'll see. I think that'll take us as far as we want to go.
Is this the type of team that uses the way last year ended as motivation, or do you guys kind of put that behind you?
No, we use the end as motivation for sure. We've brought up that last loss quite a few times this summer. I mean, I think that's what you should do, use it as motivation. We never want to feel the way we did last year ever again, so we're going to do everything in our power to never feel like that.
Just want to see each other succeed so much, and we just all love each other so much that it just brings its own energy in practice. So.
Thank you. How much is the win last season in pushing you guys? Kate was talking about that's on your mind a lot.
Yeah, obviously we were devastated last year about how that ended, so I think it's just like a really big, we're just going to play with a chip on our shoulder now this next year coming up, so I think we've kind of put that behind us now, and we just have higher expectations for next year.
You got some new faces. How have they just been kind of fitting into these couple of practices?
Yeah, so I mean, we have really good rebounding out of Hannah and Jada, so that's been awesome to see. And then Taylor, she's a sniper from 3, so that's exciting. And then Molly's just overall just a good PG, and she can find the open person, create her own shot. So I'm really excited about all of them.
At the same time, you have a lot of returners. I mean, is that pretty different coming into this time of the year when you have so many familiar faces that contributed so much last year?
I think it just honestly helps like the newcomers feel more comfortable. Like we have so many vets, so it's just a smooth transition for them as we can like tell them what to do. We know what Coach Bruder wants and like what she likes. So I think it's just really helpful having so many people back.
What have you focused on in terms of your game getting better this offseason?
Yeah, so I think I'm pretty good on the defensive end. So obviously just like getting better on defense, trying to be more vocal on defense, bringing that energy. I think that's like what we could get better at for next year. So just trying to be that piece for the team.
you guys know that you can score the basketball basically as many points as you want in the game. Last summer, I know the emphasis was on defenses. This summer been kind of the same one, just trying to improve a little bit more.
I think for sure, yeah. I mean, obviously we saw a jump in our defense last year, but I think we could get even better. Just bringing more energy, like getting up and shooters, and just making people uncomfortable. So, but I mean, definitely like getting better on the offensive end too.
Have you seen a few more steps forward on the defensive center?
Yeah, I would say for sure. Especially we've been doing a lot of rebounding, so that's been good.
It's actually been great. All the players, all the staff is very welcoming. I've enjoyed my time so far.
Anything that's really surprised you?
I mean, everyone's just super welcoming. I mean, the atmosphere, the community is absolutely amazing. And I couldn't be happier about my decision.
What stood out to you when you were in the portal and you were considering Iowa?
I mean, every time you get the opportunity, to play at one of the best schools in the country, that's obviously great. And more so than that, it's just the people. I really enjoyed, coming on my visit. They were super welcoming. And more than anything, it's just the people.
What's the adjustment been like from a basketball standpoint, just to level up?
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely a lot faster paced. Guys are more athletic, so that's obviously been adjusted so far.
How's the adjustment going? I mean, does it feel like you're making progress in that area?
I think step by step every single day. It's still a lot more progress that needs to be made to get to where I want to be at.
Anything that's really surprised you about getting here?
I mean, you get to play against some of the best players in the country every single day. So, that's obviously an amazing opportunity.
What's it like being on the floor with Caitlin in practice?
I mean, it's kind of what I expected. She's pulling up from half court all the time. But no, I mean, she's been an amazing leader on this team, and I'm excited to be able to compete against her and play against her, play alongside her every single day.
It hasn't been so far, but it's just practice with the team.
It's been great. All the girls are great. It's super fun being here. I love it.
Has it been what you expected? I mean, has there been anything that surprised you, or is this kind of what you thought it would be to come into Iowa right away?
The first 2 weeks were pretty hard. It was a lot all at once, but everyone was great at helping us get settled in and get ready.
How does it feel to be at this stage finally?
It feels amazing. It was a long time coming, and it's fun to be here.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you just going through practice in regards to your game and playing at the college?
I think it's a lot of learning, and in high school it wasn't as much, and it's a lot all at once, and you got to keep up with it or you'll get lost. So that was a big step.
Are you comfortable with the pace that things are going at, or is that still an adjustment?
Yeah, I'm comfortable now. The first 2 weeks again, they were hard, but I'm getting there, yeah. We all are.
What do you think is going to be your best position?
Probably the 4. Yes.
Why is that?
I'm pretty big, so but not 5 big, so I can dribble and you can take me inside, so I like the 4. It's a good spot.
Is there a teammate in particular that you've learned a lot from the first few weeks?
I think Kate, she's an amazing teacher. She's always helping. She's amazing.
Being from the area, I mean, I imagine the last couple of years you've had a chance to see a lot of Caitlin Clark either in person or watching on TV. I mean, what's it been like to now be on the court with her, playing with her in person?
Oh, it's crazy. She's a really great player. She's amazing. We both played for Attack, so I knew her before then. But yeah, it's